Hello everyone and welcome to another class of Amazon VPC components. Today we are going to discuss about its next component, which is peering. So Amazon VPC peering connection is a networking connection. So between two Amazon VPCs, so we can connect two virtual private cloud with the help of a connection, and the connection is known as peering, and basically it is a networking connection. So with the help of this connection, it enables instances in either VPCs to communicate with each other. So they can communicate as they are a part of the same network. So peering connection is neither a gateway nor a connection, and it does not introduce a single point of failure for communication. And these connections are created through request and accept protocols. So peering connection are created through request and accept protocol. The owner of the requesting Amazon VPC send a request to peer the owner of second, that means to whom we want to peer Amazon VPC. That means suppose if I am a virtual private cloud and I want to peer you another virtual private cloud, so I will send a request to you. So if we are in the same account, so it is identified by VPC ID. So if you are in a different account, so it is identified by account ID and VPC ID. The owner of the peer Amazon VPC, for example, I want to send request to you. So that means the peer VPC has 1 week time to accept or reject the request to peer. So after 1 week, the request will expire. An Amazon virtual private cloud may have multiple peering connection. It means we can have more than one or two peering arrangement between them. It does not support transitive routing. Now let's discuss about transitive routing. Suppose these are three virtual private cloud: VPC A, VPC B, and VPC C. So we can have peering from A to B, B to C, but we can't peer from B to C. Like if we think that A is connected to B and A is also connected to C, so we can have B also connected to C. But no, it does not support transitive routing. Like VPC A has two peering connection, B and C. Therefore, VPC A can communicate directly with B and it can communicate directly with C. Because peering connection, it does not support transitive routing. That means VPC A cannot be transit point of traffic between the B and C. So if we require that B and C communicate with one another, so we require a peering between them so that they can communicate with one another. So we require to create another peering from B to C. This it does not support. So user cannot create a peering connection between Amazon VPC that have the matching or overlapping CIDR blocks. That means we require different CIDR blocks for two VPCs. It can't create a peering connection between VPC in a different region. That means for virtual private cloud peering, it is required that VPCs are in the same region. Amazon VPC peering connection, it does not support transitive routing as we had discussed. User cannot have more than one peering connection between the same VPC at the same time. Next we have NAT, which is network address translation. So by default, any instance that we require to launch in a private subnet in a VPC is not able to communicate with internet through internet gateway. So this is an issue. So that means if the instances within a private subnet need direct access to the internet from VPC, so why? Security update, patches, update application software. So AWS provides network address translation instances and NAT gateways that can be deployed in private subnets so that they can gain internet access. For common use, we recommend user can use NAT gateway instead of NAT instance because NAT gateway provides better availability and higher bandwidth and also requires less administrative effort as compared to NAT instances. So, what is NAT instance, which is Network Address Translation Instance? It is basically an Amazon Linux AMI, which is Amazon Machine Image. Why it is designed? It is designed to accept traffic from instances within a private subnet. It translates the source IP address to public IP address of NAT instance and then forward traffic to IGW. These instances have a string in their names and we can searchable in EC2 console. So NAT gateway is an Amazon managed resource. It is designed just like NAT instance but is simpler to manage and highly available. So like an NAT instance, this is also a managed service and it allows outbound internet communication and prevent instances from receiving inbound traffic initiated by someone on the internet. So we require to configure the route table and we require to allocate EIP and associated with NAT gateway. So we have virtual private gateway, we have customer gateway and virtual private networks. User can connect to an existing data center to VPC with the help of hardware or software VPN connections. VPC offer two ways to connect. We have VPG, which is a virtual private gateway, and we have customer gateway. Now let's discuss about this. Virtual private gateway is a virtual private network connector or a concentrator on AWS site between the two networks. A customer gateway represents a physical device or a software application on a customer side. After these two elements of an Amazon virtual private cloud have been created, last step is required to create a tunnel, VPN tunnel. So VPN tunnel is established after traffic is generated from customer side. So let's discuss about these components, these Amazon Web Services. Under this we have virtual private cloud. So we have created a subnet in this. This is one availability zone, one private subnet, then VPC subnet. Router, we require a virtual private gateway. You created a VPN connection. Here at the customer network, we require a customer gateway. Here VPN connection. So we can see here how these are arranged. So virtual private gateway is AWS end of a VPN tunnel. AWS end of a VPN tunnel. Here we require to create a tunnel. So this is end of VPN tunnel. The customer gateway is a hardware or software at the customer side of a VPN tunnel. Here, user must initiate the VPN tunnel because tunnel has to create it from user side when traffic start flowing. VPG supports dynamic routing with the border gate VGP and static routing. It consists of two tunnels for highly availability. So these are our VPC components that we had discussed. Thank you so much.